is Dr. S. Subbalakshmi, an assistant professor in the Department of Mathematics, SNS College of Technology. This is a case study video on the topic F test. So here we have seen the problems on F test, the procedure to be done on F test, and the design thinking approach on F test. But today we are going to see a case study on the F test. So where we are going to apply, where we are going to implement, and how are the processes to be done in the case study we are going to see. So here we have a student to explain the processes of F test.
So F test is used to compare the variances between two or more groups, typically in situations like regression analysis and also in ANOVA. It helps to find the differences between two mean groups. So here I am going to tell some key points where F tests are used. So first, comparing variances, then for regression analysis, ANOVA, then statistical models, and for testing the correlation between two coefficients.
Okay, what is the first point?
Comparing variances.
Comparing variances between the two mean groups. So variances can be compared using F test to analyze the significant difference between them. What is the second point? Regression analysis. So using this regression models, we can find the significance of the given regression model. What is the third point? ANOVA. So as we have discussed earlier, ANOVA things can also be analyzed here, which means the two groups are significantly different from the other group or not. You can also check with the help of F test. Next is the statistical data. The how well the given data fits the given data, or how well the given model fits the given data can be analyzed using F test. And finally,
Testing the coefficient, correlation of
coefficient analysis. So coefficient analysis can also be done. Coefficient correlation analysis, the relationship between the two groups using means or standard deviations can also be analyzed using F test. Now we have the case study for F test here. One can be explained by our student Monisha.
Good morning all. Myself Monisha. I am here to present a case study on comparing variances of two machines. Comparing the variances of two machines using the F test. So, what's the background here? Factory uses two different machines, machine A and machine B. So, these two machines are used to fill the quantities. So, the manager wants to know whether the machine A is consistent, machine A and machine B both are consistent.
So here, this is the case study approach for the two different machines given. So the manager of this particular machine manufacturing company wants to know the consistency of the two machines. So consistency can be analyzed using the help of these variances. So equal variances in the amount of liquid dispensed can be found using this F test.
So now the objective is to find the variance of water filling from machine A is significantly different from machine B using the F test.
So these are the data collected for the table, we will be finding the corresponding entries for 14 on the top column and 11 on the left column. So coinciding value will be found as the F table value here. So that is found to be 2.25. And later on concluding the particular case study, what we have done is we are just comparing the what not? We are comparing the calculated value
and the table value. So calculated value, we have calculated value from the external value. So we have got 2.25 as the calculated value. That is greater than the table value. Table value we have got as 2.2. So if calculated value is greater than the table value, we can conclude that we reject the null hypothesis.
So this is how we study the meshing consistency over the other mesh. So now the manager can significantly know that the two meshes differ variantly. Okay. So this is how we use F test in implementing in the manufacturing processes. We'll have one more case study also.
Here we gonna compare two classes scores, class X and class Y using F test. For class X, the sample size is 15 and the variance is 25. For class Y, sample size is 12 and the variance is 10. In step 1, hypothesis state பண்ண போறோம். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் H0 னா variances இங்க ஈக்குவலா இருந்துச்சுனா H0 வந்து variance ரெண்டோட வேல்யூ ஈக்குவலா இருந்துச்சுனா there is no significant difference. இப்போ variances டிஃபரண்டா இருந்துச்சுனா there is significant difference அப்படி கன்க்ளூட் பண்ணுவோம். இப்போ the statistics ஃபார்முலா யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். S1 S2 ஸ்கொயர் டிவைடட் பை S1 ஸ்கொயர். லார்ஜஸ்ட் வேல்யூ வந்து நியூமரேட்டர்லயும் ஸ்மாலஸ்ட் வேல்யூ வந்து நியூமரேட்டர்லயும் வச்சு இது பண்ணுவோம். நமக்கு S1 ஓட கால்குலேட்டர் sum of the x1 square divided by n1 minus 1 இதுதான் S1 ஸ்கொயர் கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கான ஃபார்முலா. சேம் வைஸ் S2 கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு அதே யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். பட் இந்த இடத்துல n2 யூஸ் பண்ணிப்போம். நெக்ஸ்ட் அது அந்த வேல்யூ கண்டுபிடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் நமக்கு அந்த வேல்யூ கிடைச்சிடும். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து டேபிள்.
So to find the critical value or the table value, we are in need of the F test table as discussed earlier. You have to find the degrees of freedom accordingly for the two samples, and we will be finding the table value also. What is the table value here? It is 2.82. What is the calculated value here?
So calculated value is 2.5.
2.5 is the calculated value and 2.84 is the table value. So in comparing the two, we have the smallest value to be the calculated value, right? So the calculated value is the smallest value, and therefore what we can conclude? We fail to reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, there is no significant difference in the exam score between the two classes X and Y. So what we have analyzed, we are just analyzing the scores of two classes X and Y using F test, and we have the variances as the data given, and with that data we are finding the table value and the critical value is checked with the calculated value, so that we have got a conclusion that there is no significant difference between the two classes X and Y. So this is how we case study F test